All right, so kidney failure. Um, Usually it happens to be a complication of diabetes or long-term high blood pressure. So very bad to have kidney failure, need to go on dialysis. It happens to a lot of people though. And what happens is blood is pumped. If you go to a dialysis center, they'll hook you up to this machine that will pump your blood, take it out of your body, and pump it across a membrane to get that urea out, and then return the water back to your body. It'll just selectively pull out the urea, and then purified blood is then returned to your body. And it can take, I think it's about 3 hours or more. And you got to go 3 or 4 times a week. And interesting, they were finding out a lot of people on dialysis were dying on Mondays. And when they looked to see why that was, they found out most people were getting dialysis 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So guess what? Over the weekend, those toxins were building up. And then by Monday, that third day without dialysis, sometimes people weren't able to come in, or it was just too much and they were dying. So they decided not to give they're basically giving people the weekend off essentially. But when it comes to your body doesn't know about weekends, and they finally stopped doing that. And you really want to have a transplant if you can, but donors can be a problem, and you can reject the kidney. So the idea is hopefully one day be able to use stem cells for people to be able to maybe grow their own kidneys in a petri dish in the lab, so they don't have to get a donor. So here's a diagram of a dialysis machine. You see blood coming from the body, getting pumped, going. This is the machine itself I got in the box here, and that urea is pulled out with the membranes and it's collected, and then new, fresh dialysis. Fresh fluid is brought in from the bottom to keep that system going, to keep allowing that system to pull out that urea. And then, since it needs to be added under pressure, the new fluid, I'll just say new fluid. And this is all collected over here. Old dirty fluid used. Needs to be checked for air. You don't want air being injected back into your body, and then that blood is returned. Now that it's nice and clean and air free. So we detect a lot of, blood cells. A lot of things we detected in urinary tests, and glucose and proteins should not be present in your urine. Your membranes or your nephrons work well enough that those should be removed. And if they are there, there's some level of kidney failure if you have any kind of, especially proteins or sugar in there. And it's such a precise process. We'll see the nephrons are delicate. They can be easily damaged from drugs, toxins, high blood pressure. Your body excretes metabolized products from your drugs called metabolites. So it might not be detecting the actual drug itself, but the breakdown products. So this is a drug testing card. Drug testing card. Sorry about the handwriting. And it uses, like I think we talked about before, monoclonal antibodies. And urine travels, I gotta get my handwriting in check here, travels along strip, and it activates monoclonal antibodies when drug is detected. And if we look at the parts here, there's a control strip, and then there's called a test strip. So if both of these are there, that's a negative. If we have just one line here, so this one and this one, that's a positive test. If you just have a line here, that's invalid. Okay, so you have to retest. 2 lines is good, you're good to go. The 1 line here, we got to retest. You get a line here, you're busted. And we look at the different drugs here. COC, guess what that is? Coke, cocaine, you guessed it. AMP, amp, sounds like amphetamines to me. So where should I draw this? Yeah, amphetamines. What about this one though? amp, that is meth. So methamphetamines, THC, marijuana, okay, or I'll just, to make it easier, I'll just put weed. Opiates, so things like heroin. And then BZO, you may or may not have heard these. Those are benzodiazepines, or they're called benzos. Things like Valium, Xanax, you may have heard of those. So fairly, just that one test, you can dip it in and find out all these interesting things. So this is the kidney. On top of the kidney, just like we saw this in the Darren and Natalie video, this little organ in females will make testosterone, and that's the adrenal gland. The outside part of your kidney is called the cortex. The inside here is the medulla. And that fresh blood, leaving nice and clean. The renal vein, helpfully colored blue. That dirty blood coming in, helpfully labeled red, renal artery. And that urine fit to go out of your body through this tube, that's called the ureter. And where does this go? Goes your bladder. And so draw and label your own. You can see mine. Make sure you label it. Cortex, deeper medulla, ureter. Being sloppy because you know this stuff. Renal artery, renal vein, and adrenal gland. AG, adrenal gland. And I have a couple diagrams of the nephron that'll help you out. This is the afferent arteriole. This is the efferent, leaving. This is the glomerulus. I'll put glom. Surrounding it is the Bowman's capsule. And at this point, you have a lot of things you're actually pulling out of. I drew a whole bunch of these, but things like NaCl, amino acids, glucose. You're getting that out of there. Water. Okay? And you're still getting more water out over here. And here, remember, this is special. No water can leak here. This is watertight. The only spot that is. But sodium chloride can come out. Remember, and that increases the osmolarity. Remember from the diagrams before, you have like, say 200, 400, 800, down to 1200. But then as we go up, maybe we go 300, goes to 200, goes to 100, and become less concentrated. But then more, we got, depending on, how ADH is working, let's see, ADH, we have ADH there. We're going to have water popping back out of here. Probably should. H2O, H2O, popping back out of there. Okay, so make sure you draw a nice diagram. I missed a couple things, add them in there. So check this out. Oh, I missed the sodium coming out at the end. But you have this right here, so go for it.